Hello and welcome to the easiest way to fund long-term travel. So I've traveled now since I've been out of my home country since September of last year. So it's been just about like 9 months now. And I've learned a lot about how to make money while traveling. I've seen some very unique ways of making money while out and about. But yeah, this is kind of just the easiest way I'm going to go into, and then just the three main ways. That way you kind of have a better idea and you're not stuck into some traps. So the three main ways are: first, make money in that country. I think this is kind of the most standard and has the highest probability of you staying the longest. If you feel like you really want to try to stretch out your time as much as possible, this is the way I'd say to go. Then there's what everyone's trope is: make money online. This is the most difficult way. You really need a skill set and you need to be able to properly market yourself. I'm currently doing this. However, I would suggest that this isn't the most beginner way. And if you're really just trying to get out of the country fast, don't go this route. Then the easiest way is make money before you go and then venture out. This is what I originally started doing. I would basically save up for a longer period of time, then go to a country or go to many countries, then come back. And I don't know, it's kind of the save and then spend method. And this is great for beginner travelers just because you won't have to worry about work-life balance. You kind of just work heavy for a certain amount of time and you enjoy your trip. So with this easiest way, here are a few steps that you can go through. First, wherever you are, as long as you're legally able to work, you can make money. So unless you're a convict or you're not old enough to work, this method should work pretty well for you. Then think about how you're making money now, and if that is the most effective way to save for your trip. So if you think you're making the highest stable recurring income with what you're doing now with the current job you're working, go for it. If you think, hey, I can make more money this other way, go for that way if it seems stable. That's the trick: stability. You want to just make sure you can get out of the country. So for me, I worked first at an IT desk for my first trip, and I worked as a summer camp counselor as well. And those were both ways that I knew I could make money. I could make the fastest amount of money. But actually, the working at a summer camp cut a lot of my expenses because I was living there. I didn't have to pay for food. While the IT desk, I was making more money, but I still had living expenses. So just depends on what you're going for. Now calculate the budget for your trip. So how many months is your minimum goal to stay away? Is it 1 month away from your home country? Is it 2, 3, a whole year? Then look at the ticket prices. Then find out the cost of living per month in your desired location, whether that's van life, whether it's living in a certain city. You could easily Google cost of living in New York City, and it'll say per month how much you need. Then calculate the total and multiply by 1.33. That gives you a little bit of a buffer just in case if you don't reach your goal. So this is my next upcoming trip. Basically, you're getting an inside look. I want to do van life in Australia for a month. So that is going to be about $2,500. Then I want to fly to New Zealand's round trip, $700. I could probably get that down lower, but I'm just going with the medium prices that it says on Google. Then living in New Zealand for a month, that would be $2,500. I would be staying at a friend's house, so I could probably get that down even lower. I'm just, as I said, this is worst case scenario and like average, if they didn't have as many travel hacks as I did. Then also a flight to New York to end the whole trip coming back from Australia, $1,500. These prices are all in Australian dollars since that is what I'm mainly earning in right now, just to keep things simple. So the total is $6,700. Then I take that 6,700 multiplied by 1.33 to give myself a little bit of a buffer. And then I have $8,911 AUD, which I just Googled this very briefly, is $6,041.93 in USD. So depending on which bank account I have, it's either that or that. Now I try to eliminate expenses. So I have this goal here, and there's different ways of doing this. For my last trip, I moved in with my friends and family and got free rent. I cut off my interactions with people in person and only stuck to online video chats because online video chats are more effective than coffee meetups and whatnot. You can do virtual coffee, make coffee at home, save your money on that, and you're still getting your interactions with people. And try to stick to free activities such as nature and other things like that. Don't go to big concerts. Shut off a lot of your Snapchat feed because you'll be seeing people going to these big events and you'll want to go to them. While if you're just focused in on yourself, you won't really know what's happening out in the world. So you won't feel as inclined to spend money on big things. And also get on a meal plan to eliminate your costs as well. For my last trip, I basically saved up money for 2 months by eating only 2 meals a day. I was doing intermittent fasting. I wasn't starving myself for the trip. I knew that I wanted to have a low body fat percentage. It was summer, so I was doing intermittent fasting. And I ate egg sandwiches for lunch, pretty cost effective. Also had avocado in there, which is delicious. And that was like my little treat to myself. And then my parents made dinner. So it was pretty low cost of living there. And I was just basically stacking cash. Next, you can calculate how much at your current savings rate with your current income to achieve your desired goal. So if this is my goal and I am saving 2,000 AUD a month, then it would take me basically divide that by 2,000. 4.5 months to get to my desired saving goal. I am a little bit more on a time schedule, so I would not book my flight for 4.5 months out. But however, as soon as I have enough money for my flights, I'd book refundable flights. That way, I have basically no plan B except unless if I really wanted to, I could refund them and reschedule them. And then I have to go out of the country at that date. Even if I don't make it this much, let's say if I only make it to this much, that's still going to carry me through the country. I might have to be a little bit more mindful in my spending, but that's more than enough for me to go and achieve all the things I want to do here. And that's the trick. Booking your flight kind of gives you that no plan B approach. And then you can go out in the world and enjoy it, enjoy your travels. And my minimum spending, honestly, would be like half that much. As long as my flights are booked, I can kind of get away with, I'm young, I can live in certain scenarios, I can eat poorer food. Not eat as many nice meals out, not get the most fancy hotels. I am going to be staying with friends in New Zealand, so that's probably going to cut like a good half of those expenses. So I would do that mainly. Basically, even if I run out of money, my flight is refundable. I can schedule it earlier, pay that difference in price, and then go home. That's the biggest thing, You do have that plan B, but there is no plan B of like, oh, let me put off my trip. Traveling is one of those things that you really don't want to put off. You want to do it as soon as possible in life. That's one of the main regrets of older people. You could look at thousands of surveys. They say they regret not traveling more. We are in a globally connected world where you can go anywhere in the world now. So take advantage of this. We live in a very spectacular time. Keep going at it. If you enjoy this, make sure to leave a like. If you want more videos on travel, you can check out my latest video, which basically is me and my friends in the Blue Mountains of Australia. It's a great low cost way of traveling. I just went out, hiked in nature, still have tons of fun with my friends who were visiting. And I only spent money on food and then like $6 on transportation, which was great. So check out that video. You can message me if you have any questions about this at talon.in.color on Instagram or at Escape Your Hometown for more lifestyle travel content, or check out any of my links for design, anything like that at hoo.be/Talon. Feel free to subscribe. I really enjoy the support. And as long as one person gets value out of this, I'm happy. Hope you have an epic day otherwise.